What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Digibyte. Those are the four we're going to be going over. What I want to do is start in on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin. And guys, this is what we were talking about. We did not want to lose this yellow trend line, and it's starting to happen right now. And this is where I've been trying to put out a warning of just be careful in this area, because we have not gotten over top of that $10,000 and turned it into support. We have not gotten over that $10,500. And overall, in the macro sense, we still have, as you can see here, lower highs now that are continuously coming in, and now we're starting to break to the downside on heavier volume, and we're having that trend line break. So for right now, looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, what we would need is a bounce off this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, and that's going to be at about 8,615. But this is, guys, why I talk about technical analysis and why it matters and why I emphasize that $10,000 so much. That overall now is acting as massive overhead resistance. We couldn't get up above it. We didn't have the strength to get up above it, or the buying pressure to get up above it. So what that tells people is, okay, like me in the market, I got out. I was in a position at $9,500. It went up. I didn't take my profit. I had a stop loss in, and it ended up coming back down to that 9,500, and it was a break-even trade. And ever since then, I've been out. But people have asked me, are you ever in trades? But in this market, some of the best things that you can do is to sit back in cash, waiting for a great opportunity, waiting for after a climax dump where you can jump in and ride the reaction up for 10 to 15% and then get the heck out of there. Those are different things that I'm looking at. Or after you've had that retracement and you set a nice higher low off a support area, and then you're ready to go back up, that's when you want to be buying, in my opinion. You don't want to be buying right when you're underneath that $10,000 psychologically, and we've been putting in lower highs in the macro sense. Excuse me. So we've been putting in lower highs in the macro sense now for years, since basically, guys, 2017. It's been all lower highs. And what we'll do here is zoom out so you can see if we can capture this on the 4-hour time frame as well, because it's important to see this. You know what? We're going to have to bounce out to the 1 day. We'll check it out on the 1 day time frame. But you see now, this was our top at 20,000, and then we had 14,000. Then we had that 10,500, and then we got up to 10,000. Couldn't hold it, couldn't turn it into support. So that showed, guys, that the buyers were stepping out and sellers were now taking place. And that just is what it is in this market. People can short now. So they would see something like this and they say, okay, I'm getting out of my long position. I'm going to go short, and I'm going to start making money on the short side. Then you have this big selling pressure. So that's why that area for buying for me was a very dangerous area. So now what we need to see on the 1 day time frame, we're going to really be watching to see what happens with this candle today, because this candle hasn't closed yet today. Sometimes you can have these fake outs to where you'll move down like this and it'll look like a trend line break, but you'll actually get sucked back up, and then that can be your high or low, and you can start moving from there. So this is something I really want to watch the candle close for today. If it does close 3 to 5% below this trend line, then most likely, guys, that's going to be your true trend line break, and we can start looking at some lower areas. Right now, it's still showing on my volatility stop at $8,700 on the 1 day time frame. So that's still showing that the intermediate term trend is up, but now we're starting to get that pressure put on us to the downside. So you need to be very careful in these areas. And you can also see the RSI now is starting to move to the downside. We've been losing that momentum because price got up to around 10,100. Our RSI was at 83. Then our price got right around that $10,000, and our RSI was down around 65. So that type of stuff is going to give you clues and indicators. And if it takes place with a trend line break, guys, then I'd be looking down to that 200 moving average to see if we found support, and that'd be about $8,000. So that was the importance, and why for the last couple weeks I've stressed $10,000. We needed this move to be up above that and to turn that into support. It was so important for us. Now, if we look at Bitcoin on TradingView, I like to do this for people because people like to see it as well. So for TradingView, it's basically running a neutral right now. The oscillators are neutral. The overall summary, you have 9 sell, 10 neutral, and then 9 buy, and then moving averages 8 sell, 1 neutral, 8 buy. So for me, this is an area where I'm out of the market. I'm waiting for a great opportunity, and I'm going to see what ends up happening here. We're at $9,097, guys. So if you get something from that, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know down low what you're doing. Even if you guys put exclamation point, smiley face, all that just helps out with the algorithm. And with all the bigger channels and everything, it really helps, guys, just to get out there. So I appreciate it. Next one we're going to get into is Litecoin. Litecoin's down around $42 now. And what we've been looking at for a while for Litecoin was this potentially being a bear flag. We had this big push down and then we had this move up, and you can see now we're having that trend line break. And we had that break on heavier volume there, and we started having candle closes below the 50 moving average. So that was tough for us. But right now, overall, you can see that the volatility stop has turned red. So that's showing you that you're in that downtrend, and the volatility stop's up around $47 for people who are shorting. You can see where we wicked up to it before. But now we're going to watch to see what happens with this next leg here. If we're going to break down through about $41.67 is going to be the area that I'm going to look at $40 psychologically. But we're going to have to see. I mean, this is a true trend line break. We came back up with this candle, so if we extended this out even, you can see how we tried to reach back up to it. We couldn't get in it. So now we're starting to fall again, and we're just going to have to see today where we end up going. But guys, to the upside, we'd have to get back over top of $46 now is going to be the area, is what we're looking at. RSI, you can see we're at 44, lower highs coming in. So this is an area as well. Just be careful, because overall, look, our high of $150, and we had our lower high. What if this is just another lower high, and then we have a whole nother leg down, guys, to maybe even that $20 to where we set a potential double bottom from this area over here, then we start moving again. I mean, there's all different types of scenarios that we're going to have to deal with. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that, and that's Litecoin on the one-day time frame there. Overall for trading view, take a look at this. You can see here this is ugly. Strong sell all around. Moving averages, strong sell, oscillator, strong sell. It's really bad. Guys, I apologize. My dog's whimpering back here. I really don't know why, but if you hear him in the background, don't pay attention to it. I apologize. So then what we're going to do, we're going to get into Ethereum next. Ethereum, what we need to do, remember this yellow downtrend line we were talking about, how we need to break up through that and start having candle close above it, guys. We're having the opposite here, and it's about on average volume. We're starting to have a move to the downside. We had like a doji candle up there, then a bearish engulfing candle, and now we're getting pushed to the downside. What we would need to hold is that $175 for Ethereum. That would be a key area, because that's where we've been to before. We had this doji candle, long leg doji, and then we started to move to the upside again. But we still could not get over top of that $215. And that's why support and resistance, trend lines, all this stuff matters, guys. Technical analysis matters. Anyone who says it doesn't and it's all about the fundamentals, you haven't done enough research. You know, fundamentals are important, but the buying and the selling, price action is number one. It's king of the chart, and you have to pay attention to it. If you're going to be in an asset, you got to pay attention to it. So for Ethereum, what we're looking at here, same about neutral. We have buy, we have 10 for a sell, 9 neutral, and then we have 9 for a buy. Moving averages about the same, and then oscillators, we're running more neutral. But this is just a tough spot until we set a higher low. We can't really go up and make that next move. And now we have another area of 215 to get over. Then it's going to be like 219, then be up around that 247. But still, just this isn't the best. And we're losing $200 psychologically right now. So apart from some type of just, manipulation where the whales step in quick, guys, the trend is starting to move in the short term to the downside, as well as the macro to the downside. Then you'd have your intermediate term that was moving to the upside still. So you got a whole mixed bag of things there, and this is just a tough spot to be in positions, in my opinion. And then we'll go into Digibyte. And let me know, guys, if you like me covering Digibyte, if I should continue to do that, if you're getting something from it. I want to put in coins that people really get some from, or the most viewers who really want to see this stuff. So with Digibyte, we're having that sell-off that we've been looking at here. So we ended up pushing up to about that 0.02732. So that's going to be our top now. And then you can see we had a lower high. And now this would be our lower low. And we're going to have to see what happens next with the reaction that will come up. We need to find a bounce off the 50 moving average. And that's going to be at 0.01316 is going to be the area that we'll need to hold. But you can see all this volume now has been selling pressure. RSI to the downside, we're at 44. And this is the importance of taking profits, guys. When you're seeing stuff staring you in the face, look at our price range from where we went down to. Look at that. That's 46%. I mean, these are crazy amount of percent. So that's why we need to capture those the best that you can. It's important to take your profit whenever it's staring you in the face. This is really high volume selling right now. So we'll have to see if we hold that area. If we don't, it's going to be down to that 0.01111. Will be an area I'd look to see if we could find support off of as well. In terms of trading view now, we have 12 for a sell, 9 neutral, 7 buy. Oscillators 2 sell, 8 neutral, 1 buy, and then moving average we're looking at a 10 sell, 1 neutral, 6 buy. So this is where, guys, in my opinion, this is just an area to be safe. I would be more cautious than I would risky, saying, you know, I want to buy Digibyte right here and, you know, get ready for the next one. If it could still go down another 10-15%, you need to be aware of that. So it's something, you know, on this channel, guys, I'm never going to tell you we're going to the moon. Do I want us to go to the moon? I sure hope so. But these charts aren't playing that out right now. I mean, Bitcoin past the halving here, we can't even hold $10,000 as support. So we have to be realistic as well in this space. You know, it's great to get hyped up and say Bitcoin's going to $1 million and get the endorphins going, but you know, guys, we got to get over $10,000 and turn that into support first, and let's see what we can do from there. So price action is the key. It's not hopes and dreams. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. God bless you all. I appreciate you being here with me. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Take care.